What if a camera was lowered into a hole so deep, so silent, and so strange that what it captured terrified the entire world? This isn't just some internet legend. It's the story of Mel's Hole, a place the government insists doesn't exist, yet people keep disappearing when they try to find it. From eerie radio calls to a mysterious vanishing expedition, this is the one mystery that just won't stop staring back at us. Stick around, because what's inside that hole will haunt you long after the screen goes dark. Mel's Hole was just a rumor, until millions heard the truth. Back in 1997, no one expected a random late-night radio call to spark one of the strangest secrets the internet would ever revive. But that's exactly what happened when a man named Mel Waters phoned into Coast to Coast AM, the show known for digging into the weird and unexplained. Millions tuned in that night to hear a story that still hasn't been answered. What's at the bottom of Mel's Hole? Now, Mel wasn't trying to scare people or become famous. He wasn't selling books or promoting a movie. He claimed he owned some land near Ellensburg, Washington. And on that land was a hole that defied every natural rule we know. No sound came from it, no wind, nothing. Mel said he dropped fishing line after fishing line into the hole, spool after spool, for miles and miles, and yet it never hit bottom. Not dirt, not water, not rock, just endless blackness. If it had ended there, it would have been just another tall tale. But as more people learned about this bottomless pit, the story only got weirder. Dogs wouldn't go near it. Birds refused to fly over it. The air around the hole felt heavier, almost like it was holding its breath. For decades, locals threw old refrigerators, trash, even dead animals into the hole. But nothing ever made a sound when it fell. No splash, no thud, just swallowed into silence. The hole that swallowed everything. Then there were the stories from those who lived there before Mel. Some Native American groups called the area cursed, not because of ghosts or monsters, but because the land itself felt wrong. They believed the hole wasn't really part of the ground, that it was something ancient, out of place. Tests were done to try and figure it out. People lowered rocks, ropes, even homemade tools. Nothing worked. It was too deep to measure. No bottom was ever found. And after all those attempts, everyone felt the same strange way, like the ground was watching, like it had eyes. Years passed. The call faded into old radio archives. Then, suddenly, everything exploded again, but this time on the internet. The internet finds Mel's Hole. A strange patch of land appeared in satellite photos near Manistash Ridge, Washington. Someone on a conspiracy forum posted a message saying, "We found it." The once creepy story became an obsession. TikTok users posted videos hiking through eastern Washington's woods. Reddit threads mapped the land government had quietly bought. Drone pilots planned expeditions. The big question, was the hole still there? And if so, what was inside? This time people didn't just talk. They showed up with technology, winches, drones, cameras, sensors, ready to record whatever was waiting. And that's where things got serious. Why science says Mel's Hole shouldn't exist. Experts rushed to debunk Mel's story, not by shouting, but with facts. First, the deeper you go underground, the hotter and denser everything gets. The Earth's crust isn't stable miles down. Rocks melt and move under pressure. Digging straight down for more than a few miles? Impossible without collapsing. The deepest hole ever drilled by humans is the Kola Super Deep borehole in Russia. It took 24 years and only reached about 7.6 miles before the heat became unbearable. The rock was almost like plastic. So when Mel claimed he'd dropped fishing line over 15 miles deep without hitting anything or feeling heat, geologists laughed. There were no earthquakes, no surface changes, nothing to suggest a hole that big existed. The government's strange response. If Mel's hole wasn't real, why didn't the government just ignore it? Mel said that after his first broadcast, strange cars with no markings showed up near his home, tire tracks where none had been, people watching from a distance. Then, one day, men in yellow hazmat suits blocked off his land, refusing to answer questions. The official reason? A safety concern related to a supposed nearby plane crash, though no crash, no rescue teams, and no news stories appeared. Mel was offered a deal: leave the country, never speak about the hole again, and they'd pay him $25,000 a year. If he refused, they hinted things could get much worse. Eventually, Mel left, flying to Australia with no trial, no headlines, just silence. Mel's return, a changed man. Mel resurfaced in 2002 on the same radio show but sounded different. Slower, unsure, with strange scars and memories missing. He talked about waking up in places he didn't recognize and medical procedures he couldn't explain, like parts of his life had been erased. And then he mentioned a second hole, this time in Nevada, even more heavily guarded and far worse than the one in Washington. This wasn't about fishing line or silence anymore. It was about something inside the hole. Something that broke even more rules than the first. The internet awakens. Most people thought Mel's whole story would fade away after Mel disappeared again in 2002. But the internet has a way of digging up what people try to bury. Years later, the story surged back. Not on late-night radio, but on Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube. A new generation was obsessed with something science couldn't prove and the government wouldn't acknowledge. It started with clips of Mel's original radio calls chopped into eerie videos titled things like, "The deepest hole on Earth the government doesn't want you to find." Reddit users set up timelines, maps, and digital crime boards, piecing together the mystery. TikTok showed misty woods and hidden trails in eastern Washington, daring viewers to explore. Suddenly, this wasn't just a weird story. It was a challenge. Depthwalker 33 and the coordinates. Then something unexpected happened. A Reddit user named Depthwalker 33 posted a satellite image with GPS coordinates. At first glance, it looked like a normal patch of wild land near Manistash Ridge, Washington. But when zoomed in, there it was. A perfect, round clearing with no trees, grass, or paths going in or out. Just a bald spot in the middle of dense forest. The ground looked gone. Users checked public records. The spot matched Mel's hazy original directions from the late 90s. But here's where things got strange. As more people examined the satellite images, the clearing suddenly went fuzzy, blurred, like how secret military bases sometimes disappear from public maps. The internet blew up. Theories flood in. Comments flooded with wild ideas. Some said it was alien-made, a testing ground for secret weapons that bend gravity. Others believed it was a natural vertical lava tube extending to the Earth's mantle. But most agreed on one thing. It didn't make sense. Some said the hole wasn't really a hole at all. Maybe a tear in reality itself, a place where the laws of physics break down. That could explain why nothing falling in ever made a sound. Because the things weren't falling down at all. They were slipping into another dimension, another world. From stories to expeditions. What started as online fascination soon turned real. People weren't just talking anymore. They were gearing up. Hikers, engineers, drone pilots, and even former military personnel began organizing trips. They brought LiDAR scanners, heat sensors, ground-penetrating radar, high-tech gear, not just flashlights and phones. Their goal was simple: find the hole, prove it's real, and see what's inside. Strange encounters in the woods. Reports started coming in. One group said their GPS malfunctioned near the clearing, coordinates jumping all over the place. Another team lost drone signals the moment their device crossed the clearing's edge. Some visitors felt a sudden tightness in their chests, like pressure building without explanation. Radio static appeared in recordings. even though no electronics were nearby. It was as if the area itself resisted being recorded or mapped. The 2023 expedition and the camera drop. Finally, in 2023, a serious expedition took place. 5 people showed up. Producers, drone operators, skeptics who had spent years chasing weird mysteries. This wasn't about views or viral fame. They came prepared. They brought a custom-built drone, strong enough to handle extreme pressure, with a 4K low-light camera, thermal and infrared sensors, and a thick, heat-resistant tether. Everything was tested twice. No risks. Lowering the drone. At dawn, under a thin mist, the drone's lights flickered as it hovered above the hole. Slowly, the winch let it down. The camera feed was clear, steady, and silent. At first, the walls were visible, smooth, almost shiny stone. Too smooth, almost like they'd been cut by human hands, not nature. No roots, no dust, no animal tracks, just eerie silence. Temperature drops and strange lights. Then the temperature readings shocked everyone. Instead of rising as expected, the temperature plummeted, quickly, reaching freezing levels deep underground. Colder than places where polar ice shelves exist. The drone didn't frost over, but alarms warned the team. Around 300 feet down, something flickered. A soft glow, almost like a heartbeat. The drone turned toward the light, but nothing reflected it. The glow pulsed again, stronger this time, then vanished. Walls that move and electric disturbances. At 400 feet, the glow returned, looking like polished glass. The walls seemed to ripple, shifting colors. Magnetic sensors picked up strange waves, weak but real. Electric fields around the drone warped, confusing the compass. The drone drifted oddly, as if space itself was stretching. The shape appears. At 580 feet, everything froze. On the screen appeared a tall, thin shape between the camera and the wall. It wasn't blurry or a glitch. It was real. No face, no color, just a still shadow, watching. Then, just like that, the feed died. No warning, no static, pure black. The drone lost signal completely. Retrieving the drone. The team slowly wound the cable back up, but the drone was gone. No signs of damage, no explanation. They found nothing, no body, no pieces, nothing but silence. What they saw. Back at base, the team studied the footage frame by frame. They enhanced every moment. They saw the cold, the flickering lights, the strange shimmer on the walls. Infrared detected thick pockets of energy floating like heat shadows. Then, from 500 feet down, faint sounds emerged. A low hum that grew louder. It wasn't interference. It sounded alive, shaking inside the stone. Whispers and hidden messages. The hum broke into bursts, like whispers. Spectrogram analysis showed patterns unlike any known language. Some said it sounded like sonar. Others believed it was human speech, reversed and distorted. The moving shadow. The team noticed a shift. A tall, thin figure, like liquid shadow, appeared suddenly between the drone and the wall. It didn't move forward or backward, it just was, waiting. Then, the screen went dark. The video goes viral. And then, silence. A crew member leaked the video privately. It quickly spread across Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and Discord. Then things went sideways. People who uploaded it reported immediate bans. Some said their files corrupted or vanished overnight. Others received takedown notices from mysterious agencies. With no way to appeal, servers crashed, drives failed, entire channels disappeared. What the internet called it. Some called the shadow the sentient void. Tech theorists called it a self-aware anomaly. Conspiracy sites claimed it was part of an underground network watching the world. Scientists, some anonymous, suggested the whole was a reverse dimension fold. Others believed it was a quantum echo chamber, where time and space loop endlessly. One wild theory said the drone didn't go down. It went sideways into another layer of reality. A box, not a hole. Most agreed. It wasn't really a hole at all. It looked like a box, a vault, an ancient lock, never meant to be opened. Whatever was inside was never meant to be seen. What if the hole never wanted to be found? Everything changed once that video went public. It wasn't loud or chaotic, but it carried a deep, cold silence that felt unnatural. Theories swirled online, but then everything just stopped. The expedition team who sent the drone down? They vanished. Their social media accounts went dark or were locked out. No explanations, no posts, just silence. People who tried to reach them got no replies. They were there one day, then gone the next. The video vanishes. The original video footage lived on for a while, shared and reshared. But then even those versions started disappearing. Some mirrors were taken down completely. Others vanished without warning, wiped clean with no trace. Hosting platforms issued vague copyright strikes, even though no one owned the footage. Rumors spread, people were contacted, warned to take down the video or face consequences. Tech failures and data loss. People who saved the video reported strange tech problems. Hard drives failed mysteriously. Computers crashed. Some said their files corrupted overnight. A few channels that posted the footage disappeared without a trace. No strikes, no warnings. The land locked down. And then, just as suddenly, the area near Manistash Ridge was sealed off. Fences went up. Satellite maps blurred the site again, just like after Depth Walker 33 posted the coordinates. Hikers and campers passing nearby saw black SUVs parked oddly. Unmarked trucks hid in the trees. Strange men with radios patrolled the area. No official explanation. No park rangers showed up. No Forest Service announcements. No news stories. People were simply told to stay away. And no one was given a reason. Ask twice, and you'd get nothing. It was as if the world silently agreed. Whatever was in that hole didn't belong in headlines or social media. It belonged deep underground, forgotten. Mel Waters gone again. Mel Waters himself disappeared again after his brief 2002 return. He never spoke publicly after that. Before vanishing, he hinted at a third hole, more secret, maybe outside the U.S. He warned what had been found was only part of something much bigger, older, and far more dangerous. But he never finished that thought. No records, no trace. Efforts to track Mel led nowhere. No passports, no tax records, no property ownership. His house stood empty. His name erased from official documents. Whether he left voluntarily or was forced, no one knows. Was Mel taken away? What's certain is that Mel was removed, along with the video and the land. Not lost, erased. Like they wanted to cover up not just a hole in the ground, but what the hole means. More than just a hole. The video showed more than blinking lights or shadows. It suggested the hole was aware, watching, responding. Lights pulsed like a heartbeat. Sounds whispered like a voice learning to speak. The shadow didn't move like a normal being. It just appeared, like it had always been there. Theories that keep spreading. Some say the hole is a biological sensor, an ancient device hidden underground to watch and report. Others think it's a prison, not to keep things out, but to keep something in. Rumors speak of more holes, a global network with linked energy patterns worldwide. Some believe these holes aren't entrances at all, but entities that lure people in, only to consume them. No team, no Mel, no proof. Now, there's no expedition team, no Mel Waters, no official records, and the video? It barely lasts online for more than a few hours before vanishing. What's left? So what's left is the question everyone asks. What if Mel's hole was never just a hole? What if it's not about how deep it goes, but what can come out? If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you're ready, Click the next video popping up on your screen, because what comes next might be even darker than Mel's hole.